Hello and welcome back, folks. We are going into the fourth match of the day here between two teams from the Noxian division, eBROS versus Men's Women's Torment. I have watched both these teams before. They are very interesting to see what they're going to be pulling out. I do vividly remember a lot about the eBROS and especially a Jelly Roll there. He is a monster on Renekton, and if you let him go too far with it, it could be very dangerous. Hunter, do you have any thoughts on this game here and any future predictions on what teams might be picking?
Um, not aside from what you said there, really. We know the Renekton is a power pick to watch out for, so if that makes it through the pick ban into one of these games, it'll be really important to watch what happens there. Otherwise, I'm seeing these teams for the first time, and I'm really interested to see what they're like.
Yeah, you're in for quite a game, sir. These two teams like to fight, they like to get some early leads, and it's very entertaining from start to finish. And without further ado, let's hop into game and see what our matchups are like.
As we get into this game here, we see in the top lane a Jelly Roll on the signature pick, Renekton, as Ryder was bringing up earlier, and versus a Garen no less. Garen taking Conqueror as well. Very interesting to see how this lane plays out, but I think it is Renekton favored at the very least in the early game. In the jungle, we see another set jungle going up against this Jarvan. Should be really interesting to see how this plays out. Maybe the Jarvan can put on another performance like we saw last series out of Monte Carlo method with all those ganks coming in early game. The level 2 ganks really paying off for them. Whereas the set, less skilled at that, but it's going to scale a little bit harder into team fights and have a little bit more power when it gets to that stage of the game. In the mid lane, we see Lissandra versus Corki. That's a really boring lane. Corki doesn't have cleanse though, so that's one thing to note. Nothing's going to happen on the jungle stuff down here, level 1. Actually, Yuumi starting Pink Ward. I got to try that at some point in time because I've been looking for an excuse to not buy pots on that little cat. Yeah, mid lane's going to be really boring. Corki doesn't have cleanse. Corki does have, however, electrocute, which implies a very different playstyle on Corki than what I'm used to seeing. In the bot lane, we do have MF and Cat versus Kai'Sa and Nautilus. Kai'Sa Nautilus, notoriously strong all-in lane. Nautilus stacks Kai'Sa passive so easily, and she can just walk in on the back end and auto once or twice, pop her passive, do an absolute ton of damage at the end of that trade, and Nautilus already has massive base damages on top of that. So should be really interesting to see. The sweeper coming out big on the set too, already clearing the first ward despite having his clear spotted out. And should be really interesting in the bot lane. Very volatile. MF Cat is very powerful once they hit level 6 and scaling into the mid game with the Lost Chapter from Yuumi plus Bullet Time combo. Almost reminiscent of Curse of the Sad Bullet Time, which we did see earlier, the Amumu MF combo in just raw power level, but it's all condensed into one lane on shorter cooldowns.
Yes, I do like both these teams here. I do remember, I think Bob really enjoys the Garen top as well. So I want to really watch how it goes because like you were saying earlier as well, Hunter, that it's really going to favor, if Renekton gets those early curls, he can really snowball. But if Garen plays safe, he can really start to outscale the Renekton and just become a monster.
Yeah, and we see a unique adaptation coming out of the Garen too. He started Boots and Refillable Potion here, just to be able to walk in, get the auto down on a minion to last hit it, and then run out immediately afterwards without taking too much poke damage. I trust that he'll be either building into a Dorn Shield or some defensive stats first, but
You see an engage coming in. No Valkyrie away, sir. That set's gonna E you back in. You have to force your flash off of that here. We do see a little bit of a fight top lane, but that mid lane has a is gonna be very gankable now that the Corki doesn't have flash.
Yeah, but we have to remember that Set burnt his own flash for that as Jarvan.
Alright, hold up here. Jarvan is top lane. He is going to get a nice EQ combo onto the Renekton. Renekton is just gonna walk away, but a huge hook from Nautilus bot lane. Here comes Kai'Sa. She's doing some great damage to the Misfortune. Oh my word, there goes the Ignite. Is there gonna be another Nautilus auto attack, which does get him the lockdown that he wants and does secure the kill on to the side of men's women's Torment. The Misfortune does fall to Set because Set does do a nice re-engage for his team. The Yuumi hops on, gets a good combo off onto Kai'Sa rather, and they pick up a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, and that's just the MF gets hooked there, and you see the all-in potential coming out of the Kai'Sa Nautilus. Trades coming in mid lane.
Ooh. Very
Not
close.
able.
Very, very close. That Corki was one auto attack away from actually taking out the Lissandra. And that's what I really love about both these teams. And what I was talking about before, Hunter, is how hyper aggressive they can both be. And it almost feels like everyone's fighting at all the same time. Sometimes I could imagine even seeing a global ace for one team if they just all fight in lanes and come out victorious. It's so fun to watch. This game's going to be highly entertaining.
Yeah, and we really have to see, I'm curious to see if that aggressive tendencies that you're speaking of comes out in itemization here. Because we have very different itemization paths for these champions available. Corki can go the way of tier.
Here goes that. He is going to be targeting the Nautilus there. He is going to walk out. Nautilus is naturally very bulky, and especially with his W, he can really just get out of any bad situation.
Yeah, but as I was saying, from the side of men's women's Torment, they have a lot of itemization optionality here. The Jarvan can go AD, or he can go tank. The Garen can go like straight Triforce, or he can bulk up a little bit. We see
Great
more
damage trade from top lane. He might be able to get him. He does have flash, but doesn't want to go too aggressive because he doesn't have vision on where Jarvan is. And going in for that tower dive could be dangerous pre-6.
Yeah, I just gotta wonder though, if the Renekton flash is in there with his Q up, he does just kill the Garen with auto Q there, and it's really close. Really close on the cooldowns there, more than anything. Also respecting the Jarvan, as you said. The Garen is looking to bulk up, as we talked about before. A little bit of item optionality there, probably building into the Black Cleaver first, so that he doesn't get punished too hard. Set is rotating topside, looking to cover his top laner from a potential gank from Jarvan. Jarvan looking mid lane, however, trying to punish this Lissandra for being a little bit annoying.
We might even see a tower dive coming up topside here, or just trying to chunk out and get some Jarvan minions out, doing some counter jungling by Set.
Yeah. As far as the mid lane, Corki can obviously, he can either go tier or he can go into, oh, we see more fighting.
Oh, we do see that engage from the Renekton going R into the dash from the slice and dice. Does get a little bit of stun. Great damage from the Renekton here. Is having a bigger and bigger lead with the CS advantage and is really being that Renekton that everyone loves to be, that heavy bully. We do see a mid lane actually going in. Misfortune Yuumi coming in hot. The CC coming from Lissandra can secure down a lot of kills. I really like Lissandra. I really think that she's an underrated mid lane champion because of how CC she is. And the only disadvantage I have personally with Lissandra is that she's not so much a long range, but if she can get mid range, she is devastating.
Yeah, and something interesting to look there is one of the benefits of the MF Yuumi lane, aside from their obvious ulti synergies, is the fact that MF gives Yuumi the best pair of Moby boots you've ever seen. MF just roaming up in lane with that strut, even though it's been nerfed on 1010, the current patch we're playing on, it doesn't matter. She roams up to mid lane, gets the Yuumi there for some CC, some gold, some experience really fast. We see another engaged top lane
going in onto the Garen, slice and dice, takes out the Garen. Jarvan respecting the damage, walking away there. Even though Renekton didn't have ulti up, if he did, that would have been a totally different fight. He possibly even could have gotten out of that with a double kill.
Yeah, and I think the Jarvan there, either not aware that the ulti's down, but even without it down, you gotta be afraid of that Renekton damage, especially when you yourself don't have ulti yet, you don't have any damage items in your inventory. It's gonna be really hard to blow up the Renekton from 40% HP there before his jungler shows up and turns it around on you. We do see a lot of missing pings coming out from the top laner of Men's Women's Torment. Bob up there on the Garen saying, careful, the Renekton's missing. He just got out of base. He could be roaming around. He could be looking to help other lanes out with his advantage.
Now here comes Set going on to Kaisa. Nice ulti down. Massive the exhaust there. It kind of, I'm not sure if you saw that one, Hunter, but it did have a weird visual bug because she got exhausted mid-set. Set tumbled over there, and it kind of looked sideways, which was just gave me a little giggle.
I want to go back and look at that actually. I didn't catch that. But yeah, lots more trading coming in top lane. This Renekton not quite able to pressure the Garen out yet, but looking for it now actually.
Massive damage coming from the Renekton with that Conqueror is going to come up huge here. He's just going to be keeping him in the alcove. A couple more auto attacks, slice and dice, one more auto attack, and down goes the Garen. And at the same time, eBROS do get the Dragon as well.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, going into this game, the Renekton's a huge problem.
There we go. Jarvan is just engaging onto the Yuumi Misfortune, and here comes Kaisa and the Nautilus there. They do take out the Jarvan. They are going on to the Misfortune. They do take out Misfortune. The Yuumi does pop onto Set. Corki's coming down as well. Huge fight going down. Here comes Renekton. He takes out the Kaisa. Here he's going onto the Nautilus. Now they're going on over to Corki. Huge CC effects going on to the Corki as well. Lissandra just CCing him down, locking him down, has the Yuumi heals. Just absolute counter from eBROS. Great engage, great fight from the side of Men's Women's Torment. But the quick response time from eBROS just escalated that fight and really turned the tides as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great answer. The Renekton TP coming down, the Lissandra roaming back once she gets out from under her turret. Corki not able to output the damage necessary. Jarvan not with all of his cooldowns available. And Garen just not arriving at that team fight. Made it really, really difficult for Men's Women Torment to take the fight there. And with that, it's a huge advantage going over to the side of eBROS. Top lane is just disastrously ahead. A 30+ CS advantage and 2 solo kills for the Renekton already. And we can expect that to keep growing because Garen just, as a champion, doesn't have any way to prevent this sort of stuff. We see Corki's first package has been picked up. Unfortunate that he didn't have it going into that dragon fight. But now he has it. He's looking to make a play, but he can't make a play topside because Renekton can probably just 2v3 with the Set hanging around. Lissandra also has TP to counter roam if needed. And I think this Corki package is just going to time out with very little advantage. He'll look bot side, but I don't think they'll give it to him. Meanwhile, on the bot side of the map, MF may have 2 deaths thanks to the massive amount of burst damage coming out of this lane of Kaisa Nautilus. But that doesn't matter too much. The Yuumi's 1 in 5. She's well in her item build. The MF is getting okay farm. She's not too far behind. And she did pick up some assists and kills of her own, so she's not actually behind the Kaisa. If anything, she's ahead.
Great damage coming down from the Renekton here, making the Garen flash away, almost with the fade away from Renekton's Q. Is not enough to take out Garen, but now he has, again, the minions pushing down on the wave. He's really, really cutting down on this Garen CS and experience.
Yeah, and this is a 50 CS advantage. And probably soon to be 2 levels. The Rift Herald coming down top side will secure the last 2 plates of this turret for the side of eBROS. Renekton will be picking up the gold. Unfortunately, he will not pick up all of the gold because the jungler must pick up some of the gold when he places Rift Herald. Corki harassing the Lissandra, using his Valkyrie in aggressively there, just trying to proc electrocutes on her. In this bot lane for the side of eBROS, maybe it's a little bit disadvantaged, a little bit behind, but they're still doing fine. They're still within 10 CS of the Kaisa. And they're gonna let the Renekton carry this game. They don't have to do much. And imagine late game, once this Yuumi gets her items, the Yuumi's gonna be sitting on this Chungus of a Renekton. Absolutely just unstoppable. You've seen these Yuumis run away with solo queue games before, and you're probably gonna see that again this game.
Yes, I completely agree there. We do see the Corki actually is going to be building the Triforce first. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I was just about to touch on that. The one one of the saving graces for the side of men's women's Torment is the Corki is doing really well into the Lissandra pressure-wise. He's pushing in, he's getting turret plates, and he's preventing
Oh,
Lissandra.
I'm gonna have to put that on pause quickly. Nautilus does go in with the ultimate into the Q combo. Yumi is trying to save the Misfortune, but it's just not enough from the outer burst from Kaisa and Nautilus. Great pickup, catching this Misfortune off guard.
Yeah, and that's just what Nautilus and Kaisa do. Once you're in range of Nautilus ulti and they know where your jungler is, you're gonna get one shot by it if you don't have a Morgana Black Shield or a top catch. And we don't see either of those coming out this game, and I expect that to continue again. But again, one of the real bright spots for the side of men's women's Torment is the Corki pressure mid lane. But that's at the cost of building the Triforce. He's not building his tier itemization. He's not going to have the free 90 AD essentially coming out of the Manamune plus the on-hit damage that really makes Corki such a menace scaling into the late game. Kaisa, on the other hand, is building the Manamune, and this is a little bit of just mixed messages coming from the builds here. Either you want to go much heavier into the scaling, or you don't, if you ask me here. Corki's going to help the Kaisa scale through the mid game, but they're not going to be able to get enough of an advantage in that mid game or late game to win the game right now. We really need to see this Garen recover, probably in farm, EXP, and gold. We see a good lane swap too, coming out from the side of men's women's Torment. I'd really like to see them send the MF Yumi mid lane and just leave this Renekton bot lane. Leave him to pressure this while the Lissandra farms off.
Looks like they're going to be trying to engage onto Corki. MF actually almost falling here, down to the utter burst from the Triforce Corki. They are going to be re-engaging onto the Mountain Dragon. Jarvan's coming in, but it's a little too late now. Kaisa does land a nice ulti on Misfortune. She's not going to be able to get in range of her R here. We do have the EQ combo coming out from the Jarvan, and then he does try and pick up this Misfortune over the wall with the his ultimate, but Renekton is just way too strong. He's picking up multiple kills, triple kill, going to Renekton. This man is a monster on this champion.
Yeah, that's an 8-0 Crocodilian with a Yumi sitting on him now too, and it's just going to be so hard for men's women's Torment to kill this Renekton. He will fall off eventually, like, as soon as he gets his second item, he's really reached his itemization spike, but he's going to be so many items ahead that it doesn't matter, and I think they're just ignoring the Nautilus. Really, the set has a Bomby Cinder, so he can't actually ignore the Nautilus because he will draw turret aggro. But not too much worried here. They're going to pull the Renekton back in, but he should be careful he doesn't die himself. And they're just going to pick up this wave, shove it into turret, and probably reset after.
Here comes a big Valkyrie down mid lane to take out the MF. She is alone. Good call by Corki there, seeing that all the members are bot lane and really just grabbing a nice pick for his team.
Yeah, and that's the power of Corki package right there. It generates so many free kills that you don't expect, because if you just see a champion alone, and especially if you're fed multiple champions without
there's a Crocodilian in your jungle here. He doesn't quite pick up the kill, but he is not afraid. He has that Yumi pocket right now, and they do crack open the mid lane. Lissandra is going on to Corki, does ult him. It has run out of mana though. Here comes Garen, flashing, is going to get the Q off on Lissandra, is trying to get the spin, but she does flash away from the Garen ultimate.
Yeah, and just getting out there by the skin of her teeth does the Lissandra, survives. Garen trading flashes with her there, doesn't get the chance to press ulti, as you said. Renekton looking for a kill onto this Corki.
And we got a
flash from the smite.
Flash over the wall from Set there, and then we got the slice and dice to go pick up the Corki with this Renekton. The Yumi has said, bye-bye, Misfortune. I found a new man, and has now stuck on the Crocodilian.
Yeah, and this is what you want to see out of Yumi plays. Transition out of your AD carries lane, unless your AD carries massively fed, and go sit on your bruisers, on your frontliners, and roam around the map with them. They become a just walking hit squad. Garen's still down 50 CS despite the Renekton just being roaming for the past almost 5 minutes now. Yumi spending her gold, working towards what I imagine is an Athene's now. That's really going to kick up her AP and her healing potential once that's completed. Kaisa's itemization is going relatively well, but her deaths, she's 0, 3, and 4 now. good farm too, but it's just, I don't know if it's going to be enough from her side to be able to really contest this Renekton for quite a while now. And even the bright spot this game is being the Corki. He's working on his Infinity Edge, but he's got the he's got rather the Crit Cloak first. That's not going to work out too well for him. It's essentially wasted stats until the IE is completed.
Got a lot of damage from Misfortune. Sandra actually going back in, ulting the Garen, getting the damage, getting the CC, and getting the kill. Fantastic job with that shutdown there. Renekton is in the blue side of the enemy jungle of men's women's Torment and is doing a great job just really shutting down this enemy jungler, really putting the pressure on their team. And Corki does steal the red buff here, which is great. Here comes a 3v1 on the Renekton. He is ulting. He's going to try and just take a nice kill. They are going to be shutting him down, but wait a minute. The Q from the Renekton is massive. And he's going to, almost does snag the Kai'Sa, but they do get the last little proc onto the Renekton. They do save the cat. Here comes the ultimate from Misfortune. They're going back in. Lissandra should be able to pick up the Nautilus here, and he does get ulted, and he does fall to Lissandra, but just you wait. Here comes Garen. He's actually just going to be prepping for his team because Dragon is coming up in about 35 seconds.
Yeah, and we haven't had a lot of time to talk about dragons this game, but eBROS did pick up the first two dragons, using their advantages from top lane, bringing them down, taking the dragon for free. Seth's getting engaged on mid, but he should be fine here, just won't have the ulti left anymore. His smite will be up for the dragon, though. And it is an Infernal Rift. They're looking at stacking towards Infernal Soul Point with this next dragon for the side of eBROS. Actually, something interesting to note in the last team fight, you get to see the difference between, or rather, I can describe to you the difference between a good Yuumi player and a master Yuumi player. The Yuumi player sat on the Renekton a lot that team fight, but never hopped off to get the shield auto, and never hopped off to do DPS. And I know that's weird to hear someone saying Yuumi doing auto attack DPS, but it actually could have made a very big difference in that team fight. If Yuumi hopped off and ate the AoE on one of the Kai'Sa Qs, got an auto, and then hopped back on the Renekton, I actually think they would have won that 2 versus 3. But that's just such a hard play to make, and it's so scary as a Yuumi player knowing one Nautilus auto will prevent you from hopping back on, that a lot of players are too afraid to go for it.
It's very interesting to see there. It is very hard to pull off as well, and we do see actually a dragon fight going on. Misfortune is doing some damage to the Nautilus here. Great Misfortune ulti. Here comes Renekton. He's ulted over and slice and dice into the pit. Here does stun on the Jarvan. The set does pick up the Infernal Dragon, and they're going to be going down onto Jarvan. He does fall. They are just doing massive burst damage from the Misfortune. Here comes Lissandra as well, just seeing them. These team fights are going heavily on the side of eBROS. Triple kill going out to Misfortune, which is going to be huge. She is back in. She is online.
Yeah, and I really want to see them pick up the Baron off of this. They really could, but it doesn't look like they're going to go to it. It looks like they're going to take mid tier 2. Take the safe, consistent, always free play here. One of the interesting things from that team fight, so Corki had package, and he ended up using it onto the set and the Renekton alongside the Yuumi, who was on top of one of them. But that's not where package really shines in these team fights. What you really want to see happen is you want to see him get that package onto the MF, and maybe even onto Lissandra, and just cut off the backline from the fight. You're either going to one-shot them, or you're going to keep them out of the fight, and then you can rotate back around. Then you can focus down the Renekton, who did fall in that fight, gave over a nice shutdown over to someone. But, yeah, just really, you want to see more power come out of some of these abilities in these team fights. But overall, just really good play coming out of eBROS. Renekton zoning out that fight really well. Set just being a tank, taking the dragon, putting them on Infernal Soul Point. Nautilus continues to be the most fed member on his team, picking up all those kills during his engages in lane phase, just incidentally thanks to his Ignite and massive base damages. But it's still, I don't know, it's not enough. We do see the Baron being started up from the side of eBROS. with no
They do
contest looking
see
like.
them bot lane, so I don't think that men's women's Torment are actually thinking they're going to be taking it. They do see the Renekton typically just staying bot lane, putting on a show, but they're going to be taking this Baron relatively quick. It's a 23, 24-minute Baron, which will be large and in charge if they want to crack open either top lane and or mid lane. If they're going to do that 1-3-1 split.
Yeah, and that's really interesting too. Actually, something I just noticed with the aid of chat is that Nautilus picked up a QSS, and I want to make a little bit of light of, or rather, trying to understand the QSS on the Nautilus. I don't like it. I would have liked to see a Gargoyles come out from him just to be a big Chank, be a big Chungus on the front line here. But if I had to give a reason for it, it's definitely to either avoid the set ulti. So it lets you stand on the front line and tank the set ulti if you choose to go for. You've seen the game.
Here comes the Valkyrie going into the Corki. He is going to try and burst down the Misfortune, but is getting caught out by the Yuumi on the side there, just shutting down the enemy team. And there goes Nautilus to the Misfortune as well. They are just going to keep turret diving. That Yuumi is just going to be healing up massive damage there. And they're going to keep pushing down, pushing up top lane there. You see Lissandra in the top lane, pushing with the Garen. You see a massive exchange going down in the bot lane. Renekton taking out Kai'Sa underneath her turret solo there. Now you see Jarvan trying to stop the Lissandra, but she does respond back with an ultimate into a Q, taking out Jarvan. They have opened up mid, they have opened up top, and now they might be focusing it down, trying to end the game here.
Yeah, they're gonna look at taking at least one turret. They see the flash into
Nice
the Renekton
flash
onto the Garen.
from the Renekton. Massive MF just ulti going down as well. They're gonna try and do a re-engage here, but this Renekton is just way too tanky. They do get him with the Corki, just going all in, but they are going to end the game, and that is GG eBROS.
Yeah, and just like that, they will close up the game, as you said there. Getting the last hit on the Nexus, pulling ahead in the series, 1-0 in the first match here. Just riding the advantage of the Renekton into this Garen matchup. Renekton gets a massive advantage in lane with some really good outplays. You warned about this coming into this series, that a Jelly Roll's Renekton is pretty nutty, and he really showed it here, picking up multiple solo kills and continuing to get to like 9-0 at some point in this game before he even picked up his first death. Then understanding his role in team fights, being willing to give up his life, not playing as a KDA player in team fights, getting massive damage down and zoning, and letting the MF, Lissandra, Yuumi, and Set all come up from behind him and ride him to victory.
Truly an incredible great game from both
Yeah,
teams here.
exactly. And from the side of men's women's Torment, it was lost off of the top lane disadvantage. It's so hard to come back from that, especially when he's got the pocket Yuumi. But good all-ins coming in the bot lane, picking up some kills early there. Corki really leveraging his champion to the highest potential, getting a lot of pressure in the Lissandra lane, pushing her into turret, and that's really all you can expect from a Corki, is getting lane pressure and maybe making some roams. And just they did their best to hold it off, but the Renekton advantage just snowballed too hard and too fast. As far as MVPs and Ace goes this game, the MVP has to go to the side of Renekton to a Jelly Roll in that top lane, as was described earlier, for all those reasons, pulling his team ahead and letting them ride him to victory. And I think the Ace is going to go to Corki this game, though Nautilus certainly gets a honorable mention. Corki did everything he could in his lane phase, despite getting put behind early by some nice set ganks. Really pressured into Lissandra, got lane pressure in mid lane, which is something his team direly needed to be able to work around on the map. Unfortunately, it didn't translate into a win, but a good attempt nonetheless.
Yes, great game, eBROS, and I'm super hyped to see what's gonna come up next game. When we come back, round 2, eBROS versus men's women's Torment. And welcome back, folks. We're going into round 2 of eBROS versus Men's Women's Torment. We had an incredible first game, incredible performance by eBROS there, really getting objectives, really pushing down their leads and going in for the victory here. What would you like to see, and kind of quick recap there, and what you want to see in this next game coming up, Hunter?
We really need to see either a counter pick for the Renekton or the Renekton being removed from the draft. I'd really like to see the Renekton removed from the draft personally, because counter picks can be a little messy, especially if you're not well versed in them. And the premier Renekton counter pick is Cleanse Quinn, and that is not something most players have a lot of experience on, I'll say. This game we do see, I just want, yeah, I want to see Renekton removed from the draft. Otherwise, it was good play from Men's Women's Torment in their solo mid lane and their bot lane, but it's just not enough when the Renekton gets that far ahead with the Pocket Yuumi.
That is very well said, and I'm super excited to see what these two teams are going to throw at each other this game. So without further ado, folks, let's hop into game. Hatagi!
We get into game here, and I want to take a minute to explore this draft.
Look at this! Look at that!
Hopefully nothing happens for the first 10 minutes of this game while I unpack all of this. For starters, Pantheon currently on the top side of your map. I believe that is Pantheon support with that support item. I think it's Taliyah Pantheon bot lane, given all good 2018 Griffin? 2019 Griffin? 2018 Griffin, I think summer finals. A little bit of BM coming in from the Yuumi there. Yeah, so I think this is a throwback to the 2018 LCK summer finals bot lane Taliyah Pantheon drafts coming out of them. It's a really strong kill lane, but matching it in the bot lane, we have Corrupting Pot heal Sylas with a Yuumi support. I don't know. You know what? I do know how this lane goes. It goes really, really, really bad for the side of Sylas and Yuumi, because the Pantheon just stuns them and they get one shot, and the base HP on Sylas is abysmal. His early game is abysmal. This bot lane is entirely built around getting kills. The only way you can survive it is by picking a really defensive and reasonably well-ranged bot lane.
Sylas Yuumi. Sylas Yuumi. Exhaust going down, going on to the rise. Great early damage there.
Alright, that's double Yuumi summoners down level 1. Good lane advantage, but it's a Kayle lane. She can't use that. Mind you, by the way, Kayle mid. Everyone, Kayle mid coming out this game. I'm a big fan of Kayle mid. She actually has a really nice matchup into Ryze, because she will get ranged form before Ryze starts being able to put pressure down to his lack of mana pool early game.
There goes an engage onto Pantheon. They are going to try and lead him back in, but he does get the dash away there.
And so it begins. It will not stop, by the way.
Begins. This game, I am super excited. Looking at these two teams, it's gonna be a fight from start to finish here. We're gonna see a lot of early aggression from Darius. We're gonna see a lot of early aggression from Malawi. We're gonna see an incredible bot lane that I have no idea what's gonna go down here. Kayle's gonna a little bit scale up. She's kind of like gonna wait for her team to do things, but everything else is on fire, and I am so hyped.
Yeah, it's weird. We do see
Here
the
comes Trundle. He is going to be attacking the Darius. Auto attack. Here comes the Q. There is the Darius Q as well. He does get maximum procs on to the Trundle. First blood going down to Alawi.
Really
Hold
close.
the phone. Here comes Seth. He's going to be on Alawi. There goes Sylas Yuumi. They do get the knockup. They do get the kill on Taliyah. They are focusing down on the Pantheon. Pantheon does flash away for his life. And what is going on top side? He TP back and is now currently re-engaging onto Alawi.
All right, let's slow this down a little bit so I can talk about it a bit more. Silas had 2 CS when that gank came, by the way, and I don't expect that to get too much better. Kale's running a little low on HP, still has the Corrupting Potion charged mid lane, and should be picking up another Biscuit, assuming she took them. It is press the attack, Kale, which is actually...
Sorry, Hunter, you're gonna have to talk a little bit faster because we're getting another gank coming top. We're getting another gank even in mid lane here. There is going to be a dead Darius. What is happening bot lane? They're going in. They get a kill onto Silas. They're going on to Rise. They're gonna collapse down. Here comes Trundle. He's keeping his blue man safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Rise does get away from the gank. Mid lane set not able to match the Trundle's pressure on the map just yet. Trundle's an incredibly powerful early game pick, just being able to pillar you and slow you super effectively. Pantheon gets a kill bot lane with his empowered Q chasing down the Silas. Silas is still level 2. It's bad bot lane and it's not going to get much better. Rise TP's back into the mid lane. Kale's gonna have to TP in pretty soon. She is does not have a Biscuit available to her. Kale went press the attack, which actually hurts her lane phase really hard here because she really wants the increased healing while she's melee.
You get a nice trade from Alawi top here with the Darius. Yeah, I'm not sure what might happen next. They might just go in for an all-in. These two champions are really strong early and really want to try and beat the other one out to level 6 and really trying to snowball into the mid to late game.
Yeah, and this Silas is going to be so vulnerable in this bot lane until he gets Kindled Gem and Birth Treads.
Whoa, there goes the flash E from Darius into the Q. There is the Alawi. She's getting set down by the set, and the set walks away as Darius does get the nice shutdown on Alawi.
Yeah, and we're going to look for another engage probably coming in bot lane pretty soon onto that Silas to chunk him out. He does pick up the Corrupting Potion with the Dark Seal, with the boots. He's going to have lots of healing available to him, but that's not going to help with this Ignite from Pantheon's back up. He's going to be able to get one shot again. Pantheon actually baffling rush of Boots of Swiftness in this lane. That said, I would have expected to see lethality come out of him here for about the same amount of gold. That's actually going to hurt their kill pressure a lot, so I don't really know how that changes that lane. Kale is officially level 6 mid lane, so she will just be able to sustain in this lane, farm up, get to her Kale power spikes. Whether or not that'll be enough, we'll have to wait until later to see, because she is the saving grace on her team. She's going to have to be the one who carries them early game somehow, just through the use of her ulti with set. Darius already so far behind on this Alawi, who's gone 2 kills.
Very quiet. Silas hunting bot laners. Yeah. He might be trying just to push them off of the lane here. Well set secretly tries to get the dragon, but I don't know if they're gonna really contest this one here. It's gonna be tough to say. That Pantheon will try and look. He does have those boots to roam up, but he's not level 6 yet, so we're gonna see what happens next. We see Rise roaming down to the dragon. Set still auto-attacking it down, really trying to focus down the dragon, and he is caught! He is caught by the Rise, and down he goes, but he does get the dragon. Here comes Pantheon. They're going to be focusing down onto Set. Yumi's going onto Set, trying to heal him up. He is not going to live, though. Silas does get the W back, and Yumi has to proc back onto Silas. Silas does fall to the Tilia. Here comes Darius. Wait, Darius just killed someone top lane. He wasn't even in that fight, and they get a triple kill to Rise from that skirmish at Dragon.
Yeah, triple kill going over to Rise, going to be massive. Now he's actually going to be able to contest this Kale really effectively. And Darius picking up the solo kill in top lane. Great play coming out of him, despite being down the longsword disadvantage in the top lane, and the Alawi being level 6. The Alawi doesn't get the chance to ulti, doesn't get the chance to heal up in that lane, doesn't get the chance to leverage the advantage she got from her jungler. Now, scaling into this game, now it looks like somehow Darius is gonna have to do the job for his team, while Kale's gonna sit back and take a little bit of a beating from the now 3-0 Rise. Bot lane still abysmal. I don't know why they picked Silas Yumi bot lane into this, but they did. Silas trying to make what he can work. The side of eBROS is really gonna have to scale hard, and that's not just because they have Kale. Silas and Yumi both need time to scale into this game. If Silas needs levels, which is another reason why he's really poor as a bot laner, the Yumi's gonna need levels. She's gonna need items. Silas coming in mid lane for the shutdown.
There he is, going into the gank here, going into the nice combo, and the shutdown onto Rise is huge on Silas.
And the lane swap coming out too. They're rotating the bot lane through mid lane, looking to throw it top lane. Darius is just going to 1v2 against the Pantheon Taliyah, and he might even be able to do it with his current itemization.
The Silas has no fear, just running into the enemy jungle there, really trying to focus out the Trundle. They do pick up Rip, will Alawi get in range of another skirmish. Doesn't look like they're going to be going in, but the Darius is going to keep 2v1ing and just doing nice chip damage, actually. He's really holding his own in this lane.
Actually see the D-Blade. Yeah, I didn't see the, actually, I didn't see the D-Blade on the Darius top lane, well, now bot lane now too. But really, just really interesting fights coming in here. I'm surprised that some of them are going the way they are, and the Silas is just really abusing the pocket Yumi advantage, but he's got no farm and he's got no level.
But here goes Set onto the Trundle. Trundle does ult Set there. He does flash away for his life, and they immediately exhaust down the Alawi. The Alawi gets a massive ulti down. Isn't enough to kill anyone here. They do win and live with each other's lives. Yumi doing another great ultimate down. Pale coming in clutch with her ultimate. Here comes Silas. He's going to be re-engaging down onto the Rise. There might be picking up another kill. Rise does burst down Silas. Kill picking up the kill onto Rise.
Yeah, this game's going too fast for me to actually accurately assess everything that's happening. It's just very...
They're dropping the Rip in mid lane here, getting some extra gold and possibly even a first turret. But here comes Pantheon.
Yeah, and just that, Pantheon comes ults mid, able to clear the way, but he still supports Pantheon. He has no itemization yet, he has no gold. Blew it all on the early swiftness boots for roams, I suppose, that we have yet to see be opted into yet. The Silas and Yumi just death squad roaming around the map. Silas down 30 CS on his lane opponent, question mark, playing against the Taliyah. I don't know if it is his lane opponent at this point in time. Darius has been bot lane for the past 3.5 minutes. Now they're rotating back, swapping, but now the Rise is bot lane and the Taliyah Pantheon is mid lane.
Here we go again, folks. We're going in. Yumi is back onto Silas. Silas is going to possibly do another re-engage. Here comes Taliyah, really boxing in the Silas. He does go over the wall with his dash. They are going to be regrouping, coming down for this dragon. It is going to be spawning in about 30 seconds here. A lot of damage onto Silas. Here comes Set, massive E onto the Trundle, onto the Pantheon, doing some massive damage to the backline. He is going to be focusing down on Pantheon. Pantheon does flash away. Trundle ulted Silas and is currently doing a lot of damage to him, but it's not enough to really take him out. Trundle going in, and Silas actually took Taliyah's ultimate there, trying to box him in, trying to keep them into the fight. Darius flash Qs and just obliterates the Taliyah. Here comes the ulti from Alawi. Alawi's actually going in on a huge fight here. She's doing tons of damage. Set's going to be focusing her down, and she's just going to keep trying to do this 1v4 experience, but they're going to be able to kite her off, survive her ultimate more as well in all of that, and grab the kill onto her while looking at Dragon here.
Yeah, and just, yeah, that was a heck of a team fight right there. Silas actually not able to follow up with the Taliyah ulti thanks to the Taliyah Q, putting him in combat, knocking him off of the wall, but now Darius
does get the E on her, but the Rise is here to really counteract this, do a lot of DPS onto him, but the Silas is back, the Yumi's on the Darius, does heal up the Darius, Silas going in, gets the kill onto Rise, is he able to get the double kill? He does get pushed away by Taliyah. Yeah, and Yumi goes back onto Silas.
Silas is really strong, question mark, once again, 37 farm. That Silas, I don't think he's picked up, I think he picked up 4 CS in the past 8 minutes.
Is this the Monte Carlo method?
This is something.
He is. I almost just want to call him.
Carry has 40 farm.
This is the new Mr. Worldwide here. Now we do see Rise TPing in onto the mid lane turret where
How do I
Silas
analyze
is
this
sitting.
game?
You don't. We keep going. This is a train all aboard, and it's gonna be interesting from start to finish. This is what I love about these two teams: how aggressive and how they just go in and try and push every single advantage that they have. We do see an engage on top side. Darius does get a nice E off. Alawi also the same thing there as well, but massive damage. Dunking time. He comes in, takes out Alawi. That is huge. They're going to be going down. It's not even 14 minutes. They might be able to get up another plate here, possibly. I'm not too sure. It is 14 minutes now. They're not going to be picking up. Oh, they do pick up that last man. That's perfect. That's really cheeky.
Yeah, they get the gold coming in there. All right, pass it back over to me. Pass the rock back over.
I'm passing. You got some time.
Right.
Go.
Gale's starting her itemization. Pantheon ulti stolen by Silas. Silas trying to get some gold this game. And Yumi's trying to scale up a little bit as well. She's actually doing pretty well for herself on the gold chart. Darius completed his Black Cleaver far ahead of this Alawi now. I don't know if the Alawi's actually going to be able to come back into this game. She's not going to have a safe side lane to farm in between the Kale, the Silas, and the Darius. Yumi's got her pick of the litter too on people she's going to jump onto. Set in the jungle working on his itemization. Building tanky, going to be a real brute this game. Trundle trying his best to match, but just not able to get the amount of kills that the Set has managed to achieve this game. Rise still looking really strong, but he has suffered quite a few kills getting ganked on by the Silas like 3 times this game. Don't know why that happens. Silas still with the Pantheon looking to make plays around the map. Rift Herald is being threatened by the Trundle, but the Silas has Pantheon ulti with a Yumi on top of him, can bring 2 people in instantly if they look for that fight. Also, 2 dragons went to the side of eBROS.
Time's up! Pantheon ulti coming down from Silas, going in on to the Shelly. The massive team fight just erupts. Alawi's in the back, trying to fight the Darius. 1v1 over here. Now we got Yumi on to the Set. He is punching, he is fighting. He gets the 1-2 combo, takes out the Pantheon. Here we go. Darius is back in on this huge team fight here. This is huge on the side of men's, women's Torment. They're coming in large. Here comes the Rise trying to kill the Darius. Darius, don't die! Darius isn't dead! He does getting a kill onto them. Trundle double kill onto Yumi, onto Darius. Here comes Set. He's onto Talia. Is he able to get them? Here comes Kale. Kale's actually going to be onto Trundle. Set goes back onto Trundle. Keeps on fighting. Kale ultimate coming down. Does take out the Trundle. Massive damage. Set does get a beautiful Eon, making sure Talia doesn't leave, and a double kill going over to Kale.
Yeah, the really late TP coming in from Kale there, but the TP does come in, secures 2 kills on the back end of that team fight, but the Rift Herald did fall down to the side of men's, women's Torment, gets picked up by Pantheon in his dying breath before Set clobbers him, beats him into the ground. A little bit of cat abuse came out in that team fight too. Cat finally got killed for a second time that game, actually. I really forgot about the first time. I don't know when it happened. She's working on her itemization, perhaps working on an Ardent Sensor right now. I don't know what the Ardent Sensor is going to buff. Maybe it's for the Kale, but I don't know if she's even going to ride the Kale this game. She's been stuck to other champions this entire game. Previously, Kale's already level 11, really starting to hit her power spike. Itemization coming out. She still needs her core items to work, but she has hit her first level power spike. That's really going to make her competent at team fighting, increase her damage output quite a bit. Sad in the jungle, still working on his items. Darius still doing stuff. I'm just saying words because I really want to analyze this game, but it's moving too fast for me. Dragon spawning in 15 seconds, probably going to look to be picked up by eBROS, putting them on Infernal Soul Point, which is going to be really big for them. 2k gold advantage for them currently, and the only team with any turrets to be picked up thus far. Kale ulti's not going to be up for this fight, though, if they fight it right away, and that's really big. Silas has Realm Warp too, and that's not a very team fight-oriented ulti. Only looking to get his team out after the fight.
Time's up, Hunter. Here they go again. Pantheon going down onto Kale. Here goes Trundle, landing a nice ultimate onto Silas. Here comes the Rise ulti from the Silas. He has moved over. He went away. Now he's back in. Now he's going back in. The Talia is up front. The Set does grab the dragon. They're going back in. Massive ulti from Set. Going into the huge line. Massive E from Set. Going in. Shredding the shutdown from onto Alawi. Onto the Kale. Now this is going to be massive. Massive win on the side of men's, women's Torment. Once again, how will they transition from this big team fight on the Dragon Pit here?
They're taking turrets.
Oh, a massive, nice E onto Silas, but he does dash away to safety, and they are putting down the Shelly mid, opening up 2 turrets mid lane.
Yeah, picking up 2 turrets there. They did lose the Dragon Man.
Oh, they see the cat. They see the Silas. They're going in. Nice pull in. They do get the Silas. They do get the Yuumi. Will they crack open the Nexus here, or will they have to back off because everyone has respawned?
No, I think the Nexus is okay here, Ryder, but we will see. The Dragon did get picked up in that fight by the side of eBROS. Men's Women's Torment winning the fight, though. This is the price for fighting with a Kayle before itemization spikes and without the Kayle ulti there. The Silas did have Ryze ulti, tried to use it to save the Kayle. A little bit of miscommunication comes out. Kayle doesn't get in the ulti in time. She ends up having to flash out of the fight, almost dying at the beginning of the fight, not being able to put down any DPS during the course of the fight. Lets the side of Men's Women Torment drop the Rift Herald mid, take 2 turrets, eventually 5 kills for their side too, really coming back into this game strong. Gold's now exactly even, though I do give a massive scaling advantage to the side of eBROS thanks to the fact that Silas, Yuumi, and Kayle are all late game monsters, and only the side of Men's Women's Torment, we only have Ryze and maybe Trundle if he's able to ulti a really big chunk. Okay. Is there anything you want to say?
All I gotta say, Hunter, it's time's up. Silas is going right back in onto Trundle. Trundle building a massive ultimate onto Silas there, and an engage happening bot side. There is Darius. He's going on to Pantheon. He is going on to Alawi. He does have the disengage flash. Here comes mid lane fight. There goes Kayle. They're going in. Massive ulting set. Kayle takes out Talia. Now they're going to do another re-engage or do a reset.
All right, fighting over. Now time to really talk fast about game. We see another kill coming in for the Kayle. That's really big for her. She's really, really scaling into this game way faster than a Kayle should normally. Looking to build up that advantage. She's only level 13 right now, and I don't expect level 16 to come out for another 5 or 6 minutes, just because of the way this game's been rolling. There's not a lot of time to just free farm in a side lane, get those levels up really quickly. Ryze, though.
Oh, time's up. Here's another fight. There goes Ryze. There goes Kayle. They're going to be chasing him down the mid lane. Silas is roaming up from mid lane as well. Massive damage onto the Ryze. Ryze takes out Kayle. Set, not happy. Set, not happy. Set, punch. There goes Silas. He gets the exhaust down from Yuumi and gets a huge shut down as well.
Yeah, big kill coming down onto the Kayle. Kayle not respecting the Ryze's damage. Ryze does have 2 items complete with the Morellonomicon and the Seraph's Embrace. Now Merc treads on top of that as well. We did see him pick up, I don't even know what this item is called, Crystalline Bracer. This implies that he's looking for one of the Mimir Ryze builds, perhaps Righteous Glory coming out next item. Just looking to tank up against the AD damage coming out of the side of eBROS, but so much of it is going to be magic damage too from the Yuumi, Silas, and Kayle. In the late game, I really want to see him pick up some magic resist at some point too if he's looking to frontline on this Ryze. Oh, Dragon spawning in 1 minute's time. This is Infernal Soul point for the side of eBROS. They really want to look to fight around this. They're pretty strong right now. Kayle ulti is up, and flashes may even be up for the Silas and Kayle by the time the fighting begins in earnest. Darius still missing his flash, not going to be as powerful in the team fight, but should be looking for stuff. Yuumi has completed her core 2 itemizations. We haven't seen any Yuumis building a Magi's this game, but that's okay. It's much less consistent to build Magi's on Yuumi, and you can only really do it in certain games. Yuumi does have 3 deaths, probably for the best that she didn't spend that 1,200 gold there. Oh, boys, Ryze gonna have to be quick on this TP getting down to bot lane. Silas doesn't have TP, however, so if that Ryze just aborts top lane, goes down to the Dragon, they're gonna have a 4 versus 5 fight for quite a while here.
Oh, here we go. Here's another fight. And here, like you said, Hunter, Blue Man coming in with a nice TP. What are they gonna do next? Are they gonna try and find a pick onto the Darius? Are they gonna find a pick onto the set and the Yuumi? But they do re-engage onto Pantheon. Pantheon's not leaving. Massive Q from Darius. Huge shutdown on the side of eBROS. They are on the Dragon here. The side of Men's Women's Torment are just gonna be focusing out the Dragon, but they don't want anything of it. Here comes the set. He does ulti down. The Ryze takes out the Darius. The Kayle ulti going down on his head. Huge shutdown on Alawi, taking her out of the fight. Here comes Talia, massive ulti. There is a Rise, double kill. There is a Rise going to keep on going. There is the Rise, triple kill. There's the Talia, double kill, taking out the Silas, taking out the Kayle. That is a huge win on the side of men's women's Torment.
Yeah, and we're finally seeing the Silas get punished for his ridiculous plays early game. And I'm saying ridiculous, I'm not saying bad, but he is finally getting punished for not farming in this early game, for roaming around the map. And we're seeing in the fact that his itemization is so delayed now, his levels are so delayed now, that in these team fights he comes in, he gets chunked out nearly instantly and can't put down the damage that you want to see a Silas outputting in these team fights. Also, to start that off, the Darius gets the pick on the Pantheon, but it's just not enough because they have to run through an Alawi ulti to get into the Dragon Pit. The Dragon gets killed by the Talia to start that off, ensuring that the soul doesn't go over. And the fight being lost once again by the side of eBROS. Now at this point, they're just going to have to sit back and sort of take it for the next 5 minutes until this Dragon's up. Hopefully the Kayle will be 16 by then.
Uh-oh,
Hopefully
Talia.
the Kayle will have
There's the Silence going in with the Protobolt, going into the dash, taking a huge shutdown.
Yeah, big shutdown for him, getting some gold back. Somehow the 1 and 5, or 2 and 4 rather, Talia had a shutdown thanks to those 13 assists. Oh, Silas is back to sharing EXP though. Kayle's really going to need to sit in this bot lane, get all the gold she can. She really needs to finish up her itemization here, get 3 items before the next dragon fight, which she should be able to do. Hopefully level 16 as well, because that will give her the massive power spike she's looking for. Oh man, and we see Baron being contested by the side of eBROS, just looking to pressure while the Talia is off the map. eBROS is slowly outscaling this game, but with the gold advantage right now, kills are pretty even. It's only stats from dragons really making a difference. Until that Kayle hits level 16, we see 2 death dance on the top side of the map for eBROS. Really gonna slow down these team fights, make the poke less influential. Let a lot of healing coming in. Burst damage is gonna be less influential in these team fights. Silas really needs to get something going in this game. I'd really like to see him pick up the Trundle ultis in these team fights, or the actually Alawi ulti is pretty funny on Silas too, because his W does proc Alawi tentacles. And I think his W does go down to 2-second cooldown when he uses Alawi ulti. I've done it before, and I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Silas main, by the way, don't remember, not enough people play Alawi. We do see Kayle hits level 15 right now. Quick update on her EXP. She has just hit level 15, only about 10% of the way to level 16. Dragon is spawning in 2 minutes. She's really gonna have to book it, get a lot of this solo EXP to be able to hit level 16 before this fight comes out. She does have her 3rd core item completed. She's going to be able to survive in these team fights way more consistently, but the Rise himself, also very large, has completed the Righteous Glory. Looking into these team fights, we really want to see the Trundle ulti come out on one of these tanks, either be the Darius or into the set. Probably the set is preferable. Holy cow, I got to keep talking because I'm going to run out of things to say real soon when the fight starts. Talia's getting outscaled pretty hard right now, but Silas is still really far behind. Only level 12, only 2 completed items. Talia a little bit ahead on that. Still level 12 as well, though. Talia does better without items, though. Oh, they're starting up Dragon for the side of men's, women's.
No, they do getting exhaust down onto Rise. They're into a Yuumi ulti as well. They are going to pick him off relatively quickly. Huge shutdown onto the Darius. They are going to immediately turn over to the Baron pit right now.
Men's women's Torment will pull back off of the Baron, letting it reset, knowing they can't kill it without the consistent damage from Rise or just complete obliviousness coming out of the side of eBROS. The next fight is likely going to decide the texture of the rest of this game. If eBROS win it, I think they win the game. If the side of men's women's Torment win it, they still have a little way to go to beat out this Kayle, who has hit level 16. She is massive. She is completely ascendant at this point in the game. Still looking to complete the rest of her itemization right now, and she's just the power.
They found Kayle. Here they go. Pantheon ulting in. Kayle is ulting right now. She's going to try and get as many people as she can. She does get the stun off of from Pantheon there. She is in current Zanya state, is getting shut down, and the kill is going over to Trun. There is a dragon spawning in 10 seconds. Alawi does have to reset. She does have TP. She will have to immediately go back and TP if she wants to contest this dragon.
Yeah, and the Kale ulti will be up when she respawns. She does have TP, but that's 40 seconds from now. They need to stall this dragon for another 40 seconds.
There is another fight going on. Pantheon is going on to Silas. Silas is being chunked out here. They have
but
a
that
massive
support Pantheon,
point.
he's winning. The support Pantheon won the trade against Silas.
Nice. Silas gets E'd into the ultimate as well. They are going to be charging in for a fight. Blue team, the Trundle picks up the dragon. They get a massive set ultimate. The Trundle isn't dead. He is still picking off the ultimate from Set. Those tank stats are massive here. Now, Set is going to keep fighting. He does have the Yuumi. He does have the extra healing from her to really shut down the Trundle. The ultimate has stopped. And the Alawi is really low, so she cannot even help her team out in this 2-for-2 experience.
Team fight goes well there just because the Darius makes some awesome outplays there. Gets some really big ultis down, living on a hair of health for a lot of that team fight. But eventually he does fall over. The team fight, the kills overall go 3 for 3 on the game. No one won that team fight. No one's ahead in this game. Technically, there's scaling coming out of the side of eBROS, but this Ryze is still right in the middle of his power spike. He's still massive. I really want to see the death cap come out of him for his last item and just be an absolute unit in these fights. Once that death cap comes out, he should be looking at somewhere around 800 AP, and that'd just be absolute destruction. That's double what he has right now. He builds a Rylai's. I thought that was going to be a...
There's a TP coming from
White
Darius.
Staff.
Are they going to be trying to take the Baron sneakily before they can even come down? They might have the DPS. I'm pretty sure they do, actually, to really chunk out this first Baron. Are men's women's tournament going to be able to get there on time?
They won't be. The Trundle's in the bot lane. They didn't even know what's happening until the Talia wall
Whoa,
comes down.
and it's gone. And the Alawi is in front of all of them. Massive heals coming up from Alawi, but she does fall to the Silas. They are going to do another re-engage. The massive team fight from the Yuumi is going to keep up the shutdown and the CC effects going in. They do get the Baron, but it's only going to be on 2 members of eBROS, and that's going to be Darius, and that's going to be Yuumi.
I don't know who came ahead there either, because that's a 3-for-1 for the side of men's women's Torment. But the Baron goes over to the side of eBROS there, of course.
Here goes
now, Pantheon.
He
Onto the inhib.
over onto the inhib here. And Darius is going to just keep fighting. He's going to keep trading. Is he going to try and do a 2 versus 1 experience? Let's wait and see here. They do get the inhibitor. He is going to give them the respect that they deserve. And he's just going to keep holding the base, making sure that they don't end the game.
Oh, geez, this game just, it does not stop. There's no breaks in this game, really. Just lots and lots of action coming across the game. Gold still even at this point in the game. 30 minutes is not the length of game I would expect to see out of a Talia Pantheon bot lane versus Silas Yuumi of all things. We do see that the Pantheon has finally picked up some itemization, but he's going to fall off a cliff just like all Pantheons do. Silas is still trying his hardest to pick up some levels. Kale's working on her death cap, and Ryze build to Rylai's that does something. In the mid lane, Kale's almost at her death cap. Once that's completed, she's going to be even stronger. Only 400 gold off, level 16. She doesn't have to worry about getting solo XP anymore. She'll just slowly scale up to 18 from here. Take those base stats where they come in, but not too important. The cat is riding the Kale. Cat has built massive amounts of itemization as well. Lots of healing coming out of that little cat. In the top lane, Darius is working on his magic resist item. Still really tanky. Death Stance, Black Cleaver doing real good work for him. Should be able to do very handsomely in these team fights. Alawi trying to catch up. Still a bit of an item behind, but does have healing reduction now for the Kale, for the Yuumi, for the Darius, and for the Silas. I'd like to see a little bit... there is actually a lot of healing reduction coming out from the Morellos.
Kale is waiting. Kale is dunking. There goes Silas. There goes Kale. They just completely obliterated the Pantheon out of that team fight. They're going to be looking for more. The Ryze is moving up. The Alawi is moving up. Are they going to be starting up another team fight? I think they might.
Yeah, absolutely. And Silas coming in on the flank there. Kale bush Wookiees down the Pantheon. Pantheon does not have time to get his shield up to block the incoming damage. This is 4 versus 5 on the map for the side of eBROS for the next few minutes. Dragon spawning in 1 minute, but Pantheon will have ulti.
Oh, there's the protocol. There's the pick onto Ryze. There is Silas. He's going into fight. Kale ulting him in. Yuumi going on, healing him up. He's going back in. He's going back out. He is almost dead. The Alawi is fallen. The Kale is huge. The Kale is attacking. This Trundle is going to get the stats from Silas, but he can't outlive the Kale damage. Now you see Set. He's fighting in the backline. He took out the Talia. They take out the Ryze. That is huge for the side of eBROS.
Yeah, eBROS taking the 4-for-0 on that team fight. They might even have enough people to close out the game if they have some TPs coming back in, but the Darius goes back to base to stop the minions from pushing in. Set looking around the dragon. Pantheon
They
engages
are
in 1v3.
re-engaging on the Pantheon. He is going to leave respectively. They are going to take up this turret, and I think they're going to be grabbing up an inhibitor here.
It looks like they are going to, they're going to push down, take this inhib, then rotate back onto the Infernal Soul. They're going to take Infernal Soul with Set already hitting the dragon. It should be pretty decisive. There should be no way that any steal attempt can come in here, and this is going to be a massive advantage that they didn't even need to win this game from this point. eBROS with the Kayle. Kayle is scaled. Kayle's going to pick up her death cap. Should have actually 3K, 3.2K in fact, gold on this Kayle back. Massive spending spree for her. Going to complete the death cap, see what her last item is going to be. Oh boy, and Rise working on what I can only imagine is a death cap now. The Alawi still trying to get her core itemization together. Darius quite a bit ahead of her on that. Alright, I think the game slowed down a little bit here. We can talk about the team fights a little bit here. Rise is really the only carry left on his team at this point in time. Talia's dropped off a cliff. Pantheon's dropped off a cliff. Trundle's got his ulti, but that's just about it. Other than that, he's going to be a pillar and a Chungus in the way. And Alawi's too far behind to make meaningful impacts onto the high base stats coming out from the side of the eBROS. eBROS, on the other hand, the Sylas has really come online at this point. Finally, not sure what exactly he's building at this point with his itemization now, but he is building stats, and that's really what matters. Kayle, level 17, 5.5.
Oh, the Sylas has found something. He does land the max range hook. He's going in. This set is going to take out the Trundle immediately. That tank threat is out of the way now. They are going to be looking for another engage. They do have Baron coming up in 50 seconds, so they might look to either just try and push down bot lane, try and push down mid lane, try and crack that open as well, and try and pick off the Baron.
Yeah, exactly. And all right, so now that we see, it's 4 versus 5 on the map. Trundle's dead. Might be able to pick up this Baron. They can nuke it pretty fast with this Kayle. They'll be able to kill it.
Some nice Kayle damage onto Alawi, and she almost gets chunked out completely. Has to go back and respawn. Just reset, sorry. And they're going to go look at that Baron now.
Exactly, and they should be able to pick up this Baron before the Trundle even gets in range of it, with Baron spawning just right about now. Rise is going to try and roam more in, but he doesn't have the Trundle with him.
But he finds the Darius, finds the Sylas, and that's a huge dunk on the blue man. They're going to be focusing down this Baron. It should be pretty free from here.
Yeah, and then just that, not just the Baron, the game should be pretty free from here. We see the... Actually, Darius almost stole that blue buff. Smite comes out, goes over.
Now, Kayle is huge. She does have a Yuumi on her. She does proc her ultimate, is doing massive damage to everyone on the team. Huge Alawi ultimate as well. Pantheon's doing the damage when she can. Set's going to be ulting down onto the Pantheon, and the Yuumi is just keeping up strong, keeping the Darius alive. He's trying to keep his team alive. That's a dunk. Here goes Darius. He wants more. Can he get more dunks? That's another dunk. He's going on to Alawi. Is he going to be able to pick her up? And he can't quite reach her in time. But if he does get the E off here, he does. He's going to keep on her. He's going to keep fighting her. He's going to have the Sylas come in and secure that. And Jelly Roll coming in hot top lane, getting a massive turn back around on to this team. And he's going to be looking just to end here. He does have Pantheon on him. He might take out the Pantheon. He does have the E. He pulls in both of them. He is taking out the Pantheon with his passive. And he's just gonna keep fighting. He's not gonna end. He's not gonna stop. He's the pain train. He's gonna be going in harder. He's gonna get this Rise. He's doing so much damage. He doesn't care about the turret. He does another dunk. There goes the passive. There goes the Yates. Darius comes in huge. Going in for the turret here. That's gonna be the end. eBROS said, you want chaos? We'll bring you chaos. And are ending the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just that. It's the Darius coming in huge in these team fights, even 4 versus 5, picking up so many kills. Kayle will TP in, finish off the Nexus, and the 2-0 will go to the side of eBROS, despite what I would have said at any point during the beginning of this match for Pikmin.
Wow.
Alright, so let's unpack what just happened a little bit, because I was sort of just running my mouth that game, trying to get vital information across.
That's what I call a colorcaster meets a play-by-play all-in-one package.
Yeah. So, over the course of this game, we did see the Darius fall behind a little bit early. I know that feels like it was 35 minutes ago because it was 35 minutes ago. With a couple early ganks from the Trundle, Trundle really leveraging his advantage. Darius does a good job to pull it back up in the top lane. Mid lane just being a Kayle Rise lane, nothing too much happening. But in this bot lane, the Sylas Yuumi level 1 gank mid lane, punishing the Rise for laning, I guess, is really interesting. And then rotating back down bot lane, having 2 CS at 4 minutes on the Sylas, I think. Getting the set counter gank bot lane, countering the Trundle's early ganks top side, puts them in a good position, puts the Philia Pantheon behind. I think Pantheon really got punished for rushing the Boots of Swiftness instead of straight damage. I think they really could have killed bot lane a lot of times this game if they had rushed just straight damage stats. But that did not end up happening this game. We see the Sylas eventually coming to his own, Kayle scaling, Darius doing great work in team fights, and Set just being a nice tank. And of course, Yuumi sitting on people and pressing E, just like every good cat should do. The Rise did his best to try and do what he could this game, but lots of engage, lots of outscale on the side of eBROS takes it from here. I'm going to give the MVP over to Darius this game, though I'd sort of like to give it to whoever is playing in Sylas's head right now, just going around the map making those ridiculous plays happen. I think the MVP absolutely has to go over to the Darius, pulling back the early disadvantage from the early 2 ganks, going into bot lane, 1v2ing for a good part of this early game too against Pantheon Taliyah. That's not easy no matter what champion you're playing and what your kill score is. And just really doing work in these team fights as well. I'll give the ace over to the side of Rise. I touched on a little bit, doing his best, doing all the damage he can. I do think building Rylai's was a bit of an itemization mistake, but that's about all I have to complain about for him. Doing his best, trying to do damage, and just not enough for his team.
Oh, wow. All I can say is wow. They came in, I knew these two teams would collide and collide hard. It was an impressive game by both parts here. Back and forth, high action, super fun to watch, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see more of this, because if this keeps happening, I am super excited to see what they can bring up and the unique builds and the unique build paths and unique champions they're going to bring to this league.
Absolutely. I looked forward to seeing more of these teams in the future.
And when we come back, folks, we're going into Game 5, Taco Truck versus Team Billy in the Shurima division.